Hi, so in this video I would be sharing my manipal memorabilia. By memorabilia I mean like little trinkets that I've collected through the years that I've spent here. I think it's been 3 years now, and letters or just simple objects that I've kept along with me. I did have a lot more than I'm going to show you, but I lost it while in the process of moving out of the hostel and then moving back into the hostel. But I do have certain very prized possessions, so I'm going to be showing all of that. So I think I'll start from the start. We'll go in a chronological order. So the very first foremost thing happens to be, it was our white coat ceremony day and we got this chakra shapat. Yeah, like that was my first time like realizing that I'm in a medical college, like wearing the white coat officially, even though now I don't wear white coat at all. But it was amazing, and there's a picture of the saint who wrote that. It's been 3 years and I've kept this with me, and I will keep this with me forever. Then next, yes, this was something like my mom had come to drop me off when I started college, and like she was extremely emotional because it was the first time I was staying away from home, and she left me some letters, like some sticky notes, which was just her expressing her love. I mean, she does it all the time. Contrary to like a regular Asian parent, my mom is extremely expressive of her love, which can be a lot for me sometimes because I'm not all that expressive. But yeah, I'll just like look at this cutesy flower. Yeah, so I just keep it with me, it's nice to have this. Then it was my first year in college, and I wasn't very, enthusiastic, and I wasn't very proactive, but my friend was, like Satvika, my friend, she wanted to like get into everything, and she would almost somehow drag me into those things. At that time I thought, oh, this is so tiring, but now that I look back, I'm so thankful that I did, because we had this annual sports event in our college which is called Invictus, and I think being a part of it, not just by the sports aspect of like, it's great if you participate in any kind of sports and you do that, but also from the logistics aspect of like volunteering to like have a smooth event. So we decided we'll go for accommodation, housing, core and finances and accommodation, and that has been my only volunteering and participation in any sort of college events, but I'm so glad that I did. Yeah, so I got this thing that said Invictus 22 Diya volunteer. It was very fun. I actually have a couple of anecdotes from the time that I volunteered, but the sad part is that they were also distributing free t-shirts to those who volunteered, but my t-shirt got stolen. Someone else took my t-shirt and I don't have a t-shirt now. Just very sad, but at least I have this. This was so fun. This is actually so fun. I love volunteering for Invictus. Like, that was one of my most fun times in college. We had physiology as our subject, and we would go to the physiology practicals, and for some reason they just asked us to carry these, like, we did the experiment, like it's some WBC, RBC experiment where you take, like, you do something, you put your mouth around it. I don't really remember, but it was like you pick something up and then you drop it somewhere else. It's something along those lines, and they told us to take it with us. And I think red is for RBC and white is for WBC, and I have it with me since then. I did not steal this. They told us to take it with us, but it never came to use after that. But yeah, there's one thing I have from the physiology practical lab, something that has left a couple of scars in me. Never mind. Then what do we have? Okay, then when I came, it was like 2023. I came 2023 and I got a little like cracked in the head, and I did a lot of things with my hair apparently. Okay, this might be a little controversial, a little psychotic, but I cut, like, I don't know. I'm very bad with lengths. I feel like I have that condition where you're really bad with measuring distances. It's called something ametria. I think I have ametria. I think I cut like like 10 inches of my hair when I was in second year. I was just going through a lot, and I don't know, I think I was just doing stuff, like crazy stuff. So I have that hair with me. Okay, I can see you all judging me through the screen, but I'm so glad I kept it. Let me open it. I haven't opened it in like years. I remember it was like I had freshly come out of the shower, freshly washed my hair, and yeah, I had this long hair or something, and then I cut it like this short. Yeah. So I kept the hair, and which is so weird. I think this hair is still wet and smells of the conditioner. Oh my god. Okay, this is a little creepy. It's a little creepy, but it's not gross. Okay, this is literally my hair. Oh my god, this is crazy. I'm actually holding the. Okay, this is like a paranormal. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, this is weird. This used to be my hair. Look at the curls. Okay, and then when I cut my hair, I wanted to dye my hair, but I also wanted to like just make sure that I look good in a dye. And one of my favorite albums, that is Speak Now, was coming out, and I wanted to go all purple for it because like purple is the brand color for that album. So I ordered this purple temporary dye. It did not look good on me, but that was my first attempt with dyeing hair, and I still really want to dye my hair, but everyone that I talk to just tells me not to because it damaged their hair fully. And my hair is, I mean, it looks good, but like it's very frizzy and very rough, and if I dye my hair, it'll just get 10x worse, and I don't want that. But I also want to dye my hair. Why is it so difficult? Then I used to go to therapy. I used to go to student support center. I don't have anything from there, but for a brief amount of time I stopped going to student support center, and I went to the clinical psychology section in KMC, and I have this, it's very torn, but it's like a little vintage if you look at it. It is all the sessions that I took at those. Like, I took more than what's stated over here, but yeah, clinical psychology department. I definitely gained a lot of insight with my therapy over there. And I remember one of the breakout things for me was my journey, or my struggle with food that I talked about there in those therapy sessions, and I still remember making like real progress. So that's it. Like, she's one of my like 3 therapists that I've had, and I've really liked her as well. Then okay, so it was last year, and I always have this thing that I just sit in my room and I act like I'm being interviewed. Like, I ask the questions and then answer the questions and all of those things, because I just really want to be interviewed. Like, I just want someone to interview me. I want to feel important, and I also just want to tell what goes on in my brain. So there was this opportunity where there's this app like Maros and stuff. What is it called? Medays, manipal Medays. They said they're doing interviews to promote their channel, to promote their app, and anyone who wants to volunteer can come. So I was like, yeah, that's the perfect opportunity for me. They were supposed to post the video on YouTube, but I kept checking and I don't think they ever did, which is very rude. But they did give me this book. I don't think I've used it, but yeah, it says Manipal Medays and just book. So free promo for them. Okay, now that I've showed the ring, yeah, I used to see someone back in the day for a couple of months, so he gave me this ring and I still have it with me. Then I, for some reason, happened to be a part of 3 research projects last year. So one of them, it was about microbiota. I don't know how do you say that word. But yeah, and I was like, this is amazing. I want to be a part of it. This was voluntary. But later it turned involuntary because they didn't tell me that I have to give my stool sample, my urine sample. They didn't mention any of that when they sent the message in the group asking people to volunteer. And I was so shocked when they told me, like, you'll have to give your stool sample. And it was embarrassing, okay? Like, I couldn't collect it the first time. It was just embarrassing. But this is clean. This is a sterile pack. I just have an extra pack with me, so I kept it with me. This is like stool sampling sheet. So I have it with me. It's a little dumb, but it's okay. The second research project that I was a part of was actually something that helped me a lot in recovering from depression, as I've already mentioned in one of my videos. It was Clinical Research Center for Neuromodulation in Psychiatry. It was about TMS and TCS and their effects on helping with depression and schizophrenia. So this is the informed consent paper from there. And I kept it with me. I've never read it. I don't think I've ever read it, but I just kept it with me. Like, yeah, like when the studies come out and I'll be one of those subjects, and I actually had very significant improvement with that. So it'll be amazing. Like, I have proof that I think the study is going to be like big. So I'll be a proof that, yeah, I was the subject for that study. Another thing I have is, yes, so one of my really favorite teachers and someone who I'm really close to, Bharti ma'am. She's a pharmacology teacher and she was my mentor last year. So we were very close. She was like my biggest confidant, and yeah, she gave this to me. It was very sweet. I keep this in my school pouch because it's Swami Vivekananda, and I think it is Swami Vivekananda. And yeah, she gave this to me, so I keep it with me. Then also another teacher related thing. So last year, like, pathology was something that I found really difficult. I just did not like the subject until one of my teachers, she would literally make out time from her busy schedule. Besides being the pathology teacher, she's also the associate dean. So she saw like how I'm repeating a year and how I'm not doing okay. So she told me like I can come to her and she can teach me a couple of topics. That was before my second sessional exams. And when I went there, it made it like I actually started enjoying pathology. She made it so much easier for me. And the kind of interest her teaching piqued in pathology for me, it was surreal. And yeah, and then the thing is, she said that she really enjoys teaching me because I happen to be someone who's very quick to grasp things. So she continued teaching me throughout, like since she started, like throughout second year, from the second block till the end of third block. And I have kept one of the things, like she used to have these spare sheets where she would just really very briefly and concisely explain one topic, and just that like brief, like a couple 15 minutes of explanation of one topic would make it so much easier for me to read like big books. So yeah, I've kept one of the sheets with me as this was so helpful. I actually scored the most in pathology of all the three subjects, while earlier pathology was something that I was very weak in. So I definitely owe my success to her. And yeah, I've kept like leukemia, she used to teach them. And even like when my second year results came out and I went to meet her, she told me like even now, like since in medicine there are a couple of topics, especially renal, that are very pathology based. Like predominantly the content is like what you studied in pathology. She told me I can always visit her to brush over, like revisit those topics. So that's amazing. It's so amazing to have such nice teachers. Then another thing I have is my shell collection. My sister came here. My sister came to Manipal, I think in November 23, and we went to the beach together and she collected a lot of shells, and I took it from her because I will. And I used to write myself like notes that to remind, like there were certain things in my head, like certain rules that I wouldn't let myself break. So one of the things was that either I have to complete everything today itself, or like I'm not doing anything at all. This was something I learned from therapy. Like I realized this, like it's all or none for me. And I realized I would read this quote a lot everywhere, which said a little goes a long way. And I put that into action and it actually showed so much results for me. And so I feel like this is like a constant reminder for me that a little goes a long way. Then I do have these two, like my ex-best friend, we're not like, something happened and like kind of like our friendship has fallen out, but I still hold it very close to my heart. So she would like gift me a lot. She would gift me lots of like trinkets and beautiful like jewelry and stuff. So these are like two of the notes that she would write. Like she would call me Dia Baby, and I really liked that, so I've kept it with me. And this is something my friend from Twitter actually sent it to me. It was while I was in Manipal, and yeah, it's a letter. I've made a whole another video about it. So there's that. And I also, this is my most latest part of memorabilia, which is, so you're wondering what is this, right? So I recently, my first postings in third year were my psychiatry postings. It was the first time I took a psychiatry case. Like being a patient in psychiatry department, it definitely was something that was close to my heart and something I definitely held a lot of empathy for. And I was just like very happy to be having the opportunity to be on the other side of psychiatry. So we were checking the patient's psychomotor activity. Psychomotor activity is like activities that are controlled by your brain, motor activities that are controlled by your brain, that is like walking, writing. Yeah, so we asked him to write his name, and like he knew Kannada, so he wrote this name in Kannada, and we don't know Kannada, so we went around asking people if that's how you write the name, but no one around us knew how to read Kannada either, so that was a little tough. But we declared him to have poor psychomotor activity because yeah, his formations are not very clear. But I think this is all. This is all of my memorabilia that I have had in the 3 years of me staying in Manipal, and I'm pretty sure there's more to come. So yeah, thank you for watching the video. Bye bye.